Once you break free from fear, then it's a mindset shift that you need to take that one step forward. I think lead by example is very important.
Welcome to One Life Podcast, where leaders awaken, align, and activate their impact into legacy with purpose-driven and future-ready enterprises. Today, we have two visionary leaders, Meeddyz and Khoon from Asia Green Group and Asia Greenwood. Okay, so welcome to our show today. So we are very lucky today to invite both of you because both of you actually have shown that you have truly transformed your family business, after a few years. So maybe before we start, maybe could you share a little bit more about your story and how this transformation journey has started? Yes.
Well, maybe a bit of my background first. So I'm from a property developer and a NextGen, second generation in my family business. So currently I'm the CEO. So I think a few years back, in terms of what kind of transformation, I think we have been doing a lot of more of like commercial condo type of development. And I think that journey I've been back in this business for about 15 years after the US. And I think all this while I've been doing for the sake of just for responsibility. I don't know what's the meaning or purpose in doing this family business. All I know is this is something I need to do rather than that I want to do. And I think for the past few years after COVID, I think the most impactful reason for the transformation was my own journey. I was down with depression and anxiety that I didn't even know I had this, problems. So I think after I've been searching for answer for my life and went through healing myself, and I think that's really made me think, what am I here for? Who am I? Am I just here to continue this legacy for the sake of, building more projects, more buildings? What am I here to do? So I think that's really triggered my thoughts about my life. And I think that's eventually lead me to got into a hill land at Bentong. And I want to do, that time was just purely just want to do a wellness center to help people with the same problem like mine, depression, anxiety, or any sort of mental health. I think from there onwards, I realized I can do more than just a piece of land. And realizing my fam business has been in this development, but I think what we want to really transform to, it become an ecology development leaders that hopefully inspire more people to focusing on human-centric design and not just designing blocks, designing brick and mortar that has no soul in it. I think it's a software, it's the human part that we're missing. We need to create and inspire people to go back to who they are, and also creating the community of love. And I think this is something we are working on for our transformation for our family business.
Wow, I hear that there's a lot of big transformation. It's more than just yourself. It all starts from yourself first, and then after that, it's about your heart of love to the communities. And now you are creating it, as a ecological development. Yeah, so I will come to that later. Yeah, so later on, we will go back to how do you, from your personal journey, you have that clarity, to transform your business. Now, let's go to Khoon. Maybe you just share a little bit about Asia Greenwood, because earlier on was Asia Plywood, right? How does this transformation come about?
So, same as me, it starts from within, right? So, when I first got back to the family business, because I'm the only boy in the family, so a lot of expectations, and I actually really hated this company. But I take it on as responsibility because I said, well, this is the first business that my parents started, and as the only boy, I should take over. So I was pushing myself and not really being myself. Then through my own healing journey, I found myself, and then I found that why am I doing this? What's the business for? Right? It's a very traditional business where you are actually hurting the earth. So how do I transform from such a traditional and non-sustainable business to one that is, right? So that's why we also rebrand ourselves and turn the company's vision into something that can inspire others to do the same. If for a company like us we can transform, then I think anyone else can, right? So we move from non-sustainable sources to now more than 90% is sustainable sources of logs. Also, we are investing into a machine that actually produces other sustainable products, as well as carbon credit and saving using green energy and so on, right? So that's why we changed our name from Asia Plywood to Asia Green Wood, because each word has a meaning of what we're doing. Asia is our heritage, that's where we are from, right? Green is that now we are moving into a greener environment, a greener business model. And wood is now we are so much more than plywood, right? We are anything that's sustainable and going back to our roots of, a wood making company. Yeah. So that's how the name came about.
Oh, wow, that's great. So both of you are siblings, right? So sounds like you both had an awakening moment. So then from there, you transform your family business into, a purpose-driven and future-ready business, which is right now. So maybe I will be more curious about, how do you had that awakening moment that that is a turning point that your business transformation was necessary?
I think what was it was I think in a way I'm very thankful to the opportunity to meet with people that really care and at the same time love that form one life together. That started as a retreat course that I went. We went together last December, and in less than a year, I think during this retreat is where the starting moment of made me realize, wow, this universe truth, the whole thing, how it works, and at the same time questioning myself about what's my life here on earth, what am I here supposed to be doing. I think throughout this whole journey, with the teacher and people's community around, to really discover or awakening, my soul, that I come to realization that actually I can do it. My purpose, my life purpose is not just about my hobby, but it can implement in my life journey as well, like things I do, my daily work. And I think most of us spend almost majority of time at work. Why can't we turn working become our purpose too, right? So I think that's where my realization that it's very important for us to start from ourselves, when we work through ourselves, and how can we going towards the purpose and make everything else in our life become purposeful and meaningful, and that's including our business as well. Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like you had a clarity about your purpose as in a personal level, and how you can relate to a business purpose and to the whole world, and to change the whole world with love and kindness, which is what you just mentioned. So would there any resistance from the start, or because when you have a awakening moment, and right now because earlier on your business has been running for so many years and you need to transform that, would there some internal resistance or external resistance from introducing changes to whatever that you are doing?
Well, I'm sure everyone has resistance when it comes to change. As personally, at the beginning, yes, because I always thought this is family business and I don't think I can change it. And I think, but I think what really changed for me internally was when I really faced the fear. I think a lot of people has different kind of fear and a lot of different fear. I think what's more important is when you really there enough to look what exactly the most fear in your life and you're able to break through it. I think that resistance definitely like so easily and just dissolve and right away. That's my first step. And I think it's a shift from a lot of mindset change when I want to do a transformation. Once you break through from fear, then it's a mindset shift that you need to take that one step forward. I think lead by example is very important. And I think another resistance that I face or we face a lot is within the employees, the company, maybe even the shareholders at the beginning, because they don't know where exactly we're going, and we have been doing great. So why would we change when things seems great, right? But I think it's more of lead by example. At the same time, make it very clear about where exactly this vision and mission is. And we just also work with our partners that are able to help us to organize and also make it even clearer to our employees and shareholders that where exactly is the direction going and what is it. A lot of people, we do a lot of rebranding, repurpose, and it's a lot on marketing or branding purpose. So they put on those things on the wall. Oh, this is our vision and mission. But are we actually practicing it, right? I think that's where I realized we actually need some help as well. We cannot do it all by myself. So from One Life to to our different partners to help us to make it into a relevant and make every single one of us understand and realign back with themselves and with the company. And I think step by step, that's where we can move forward. And I think today seeing a lot of my staff from very fear. At first their reaction was, "Are you sure we can do it? Isn't that a bit too bizarre, from this, right?" And they're very fearful of what the future is gonna be. To today, they say, "I believe in you and I want to do it together." And I see that transformation. I think that's really rewarding. I think if my employer can change, I believe whatever we do can inspire and spark more people inside of their heart. They also can change. So transformation doesn't for just for myself, but it's actually transform for me, to my family, to my company, to community, and hopefully to the world.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I believe that a lot of corporates and business owners need to hear this, because a lot of time is when the leaders have the courage and have the clarity to embrace changes, and then from there, right, align with their people. It's not about just thinking about the next innovation or the next digital transformation and just impose change, to the company. They need to have this people alignment as well. Yeah, so I think that's very great that you all have been doing. But of course, for Loong Khoon, right, I just have this really burning questions that I want to ask you. Because for you to change Asia Green Wood from very non-sustainable to something that is sustainable, it's like you are changing the industry as well, the way of they doing things. I think also, just like what May mentioned, it has to come from the personal transformation first. So how did you step out from your comfort zone, or rather embrace your confidence to do the first, to be the one that raised the flag, say, I want to do it?
So I think it all started with personal clarity. So usually break it down to what do you want? And then where do you want to go? Then the third is how do you get there, right? So also the same with the members of One Life that helped me find the answer of what do I actually want, right? And I was like, well, I've always actually been really passionate about all this sustainability and all this new technology. Then I was like, okay, actually that's what I want to do, right? I want to help the world. I want to help people and build a good and strong community. Then after that, okay, I know what I want. Then how do I get there, right? And where I want to go first. Then I write all those down, and then I start, getting my staff to slowly convincing them. Of course, in the beginning, when you just say it, they was like, no, this is not what we have been doing, and all that. Then I said, exactly, because this is not what we have been doing, and the market is different now. If you keep doing the same thing, you're just waiting to be retired, right? It's time for an upgrade for everyone, right? And through this course of action, you can see that, actually you also inspire a lot of customers and suppliers. Actually, we also want that. We also want change. And it's not about losing profit and doing so-called good, but it's actually doing both. So if you can do both, why not, right? And I think the word courage is very important, because I'm someone that actually lacked a lot of confidence back then. And I do think about, what will people think about me? So especially this worker, they have been with the previous generation the longest, right? They have staff that work for my dad for more than 30 years. So how do you change people like that and accept the new thing, right? So then I realized, as long as your intention comes from love, I told them, just try this experience. It changed me and I have found happiness. So I really want you guys to experience and find your own happiness. This has, it's purely from the intention, and they can really feel it. So they actually tried it. At first it was like a bit resistance, till now they're actually very excited to learn new things, for the new changes that's coming, and I can see them coming to work more excited, wanting to share more things, and not just on the personal level, but on a company level. This is a self-sustaining engine. You're all self-motivated. You don't need to wait for keep asking, hey, what's this? How about this? They just ultimately come find you rather than you go find them. And because they're so passionate and they really want to get to the mission and vision of the company. Yeah.
Right. So I hear that you mentioned that they are passionate for change. I believe that in companies, there are some people, like just now you mentioned, right? There are people who refuse to change. Of course, because there's fear of uncertainty and get out from a comfort zone. How do you motivate these people to, to align with whatever goals and vision missions that you all have? And what if they don't? How will you deal with it?
So, I think the first step is to actually explain to them in a very balance of spiritual plus realistic world, right? And where I plan to do, and how will this bring the changes, and what does this changes means to the company and means to them, right? So once they understand and see the whole picture, then they, okay, so what you're doing makes sense, right? And actually this is for my good as well. So they say, okay, I will try. And all I ask them is, please try, and once they do try, they will keep going. They'll say, actually this is quite fun, right? And this is like actually good for them. And some people will be, resistance, but once they see other people start changing and becoming happier and more motivated, then they're like, actually, what's happening, right? And they also want to try, because I think it's actually indebted in us that we actually want to improve. But the only thing was, everyone's afraid to change. But then again, they're saying from Einstein, it's like, if you do the same thing every day expecting a different result, then you're crazy lah, right? So of course you want to change, you gotta change the way you live, change the way you think, and change everything about your life, right? So and I think what May said is true. You gotta lead by example. You gotta do it yourself first. Yeah. If not, whatever you say, you just think that you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's why I keep hearing that you are actually aligning your team with the values of love, right? And I hear a lot of both of you all sharing that you are building a communities with love and heart. Maybe for me, I have this question for you. Maybe you can share more of that. How do you have this vision? Because as a property developer, mainly people are thinking about, selling the properties, and that will help people with their home or in terms of investment. How do you have that vision to build a community with love and love and heart? And now you want to claim yourself, the company, as an ecological development. So can you walk us through how does this, vision to turn into transformation?
I think first is that we have to understand you're providing homes, but are a lot of developers providing home today? We gotta ask ourselves this. Things are getting more expensive. I'm sure most people can't even afford houses, right? And the units are getting smaller, right? This is the truth. Can't avoid it. Everyone is fighting over what other facilities am I giving, or how much am I selling to you, or how small the units can be. I think everyone's just fighting over this kind of things. But if you really want to bring people home, but what really home means? Home means you go back to love. You go back to a warmth that you are after a whole day of working, chasing, it's always go back to yourself. Home is you. But I think the issue is, as a developer, a lot of time we have forgotten. Of course, a lot of time it's normal, it's business, we're all driven by profit, right? The margin. But now margin is getting thinner and thinner. So what really developers supposed to be doing? Am I creating more condos? Am I creating another malls? How many malls we already have? There's no more innovation because it seems like that's the only way around. But I think the concept to change that vision is to really bring people back. So we're introducing the 3+X. 3+X model is technology, art and culture, and also ecology. And the X is wellness living. I think what we want to bring people back to is bring them home to themselves first. Living in this kind of community where you can truly be yourself. And I think that is something we really want to do. That awakening more people and come back to them and be happy. I think that's the ultimate of everyone need to go to. That's the real home. But to do that, we need technology to ease up a lot of work. So then you don't focusing on repeated kind of job. You can be more creative, do something that you really like instead of, you go back to the usual what robot can do that the robot machine to do it. And art and culture is a soul. It's human. If we go to all this temple, we go to museum, we go to the travel different world to look at some architecture. Why? Because you reminded you, human has come so far. This is our history. This is us. And art is something that touches your heart. Can you feel art? Not people go and then lick the art and how it looks, and no. Everything is about feeling. Art is the window to your soul. I think that's why art and culture is so important that most people have forgotten that, artists, like this is our traditional mindset. I think lastly, ecology. We're living in an environment where everything is continuous ecosystem. If you look at how, a lot of time we think, you have too much, let's say mosquito, right? But there's an ecosystem to it. Why there's a mosquito, right? And then there's a certain type of flowers, certain types of animals eat mosquito, right? It feed on these kind of things. So it's all about ecosystem, and we need to be part of it and not destroy this kind of ecosystem. But we have forgotten, Earth and all sort of beings are part of us as well. We are live here together, so we need to harmonious living, right? I think. And the next thing, we're also using the 世生 model. What is really 世生? 世生number one, it starts from Chinese. So it's talk about 生活. 生活 is living. We need to really know the quality of life. And secondly, we are talking about 生态, which I talk about ecology. Everything is an ecosystem that we need to live in, right? And then you go to 生机, which is vitality. Everything you need to come from innovation. You need to come from creativities. And then lastly, about 生意. 生意 can also mean business, right? Everything you need to do, you make sure it's able to sustain. I'm making a big impact. If I make it for free, I cannot sustain myself. I cannot sustain the whole company. I cannot sustain for a longer vision to make it happen, to show that right kind of impact. But 生意 is also meant 生命的意义, right? When you talk about 生命的意义, whatever you do or you spend, you must have a meaning behind spending the money. Not you're spending for the sake of spending the money, but that money that you're gonna spend, is it generate back the energy that eventually generate back to you? So I think from ourselves to our partners, consultants, contractors, suppliers, every single of them need to be aligned, and they are spending the right thing and providing the right thing for the people. I think that's only the 生意循环. The whole cycling back and ecosystem can, I spend for you, you spend for that, and then eventually you come back to me. So I see it as this energy flow as a 生意. It's not so much of what people think. I earn a lot and I keep it to myself. So I think it's more of what can you build upon your business and yourself. I think that is the whole thing that we are transforming, and to make sense. Again, a lot of people thought, oh, you're doing this, seems like a social entrepreneur thing that you are, I love lah. But I still need to make sure I'm on ground and make it happen, and for a long lasting impact, I do need to make sure it is sustainable.
Yeah, so the sustainable is not just about the green sustainability as a developer and also the ecosystem that you are contributing, but also sustainable in terms of the business sense, right? And also you also still have to feed your people and all. We are not talking about social entrepreneur means doing charity, right? I think that's the notion that a lot of people, we have to evolve and have a change of the mindset. Yeah, so in fact all of us can be social entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
To whatever that we built, we contribute back so that the cycle keep flowing and the ecosystem, the business scenes keep growing. So I'm curious, so just now, since you already touched on the point that it seems like a concept, so right now of course you are building, so how does this create a measurable impact to your business so far?
I think in terms of measure impact, now that we are working on actually 2 projects. One is One Heaven, which we collaborate with some of our partners and people who are like-minded. And interestingly, you see, when we are moving towards that kind of direction, we attract the right kind of investor. And to be honest, One Heaven, I can just automatically build it on ourselves, as a developer. But instead of that, we open up for investor that share the same vision, that share the same kind of approach in life, right? When they're awakening and this is something they will all want to do. And I think that's where we attract the right kind of investor to collaborator, to work on this together. So I think that's one part of how we actually working on this. I think second part, the second project that we are kickstarting is called One Garden Sanctuary in Penang. I think that is also we just working on it, just starting as our planning stage, and it is something that is more not something that we just has a vision to do, but it's rather really as a prototype that we started as, and then working on how can we implement that 3+X model, 4 model into the whole development. So we just had a workshop that we're working on, okay, what is 3+X, how we implement this 3 things, right, to make it into the project itself. And what is 4 everything that we do need to have 4 this 循环, this ecosystem, so that in terms of every department, every single them, that is also have this power to realize that they can also implement this module in their life, in their work, and into the project, and not just saying, oh, here's a 4 and here's 3+X, and they don't even can apply in their life. So now we are doing this practice every single day. We're talking about, okay, so our company, are we moving towards, if we talk about wellness living, are we providing that to our people or not? So even our employees now enjoy, we give a pickleball session that, give them the bonding session. We're doing a lot of brainstorming session, regardless their department. They're not even in project department. They can also involve into brainstorming of the project. as well that align with that 3+X and 4 model. So I think everyone learned to practicing how actually apply in their life. And now we're talking about recycling in our company, installing solar panels, so involving every single one of us, not just what I say, but they gotta experience how it actually works.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting because since your journey in One Life program till now, right, you are implementing to your projects and towards your company culture. I think that's very important because right now it seems that a lot of the big environment has a lot of changes, and it seems that a lot of corporates are looking ways to align people to this big changes and digital transformation in order to improve the company productivities, even or efficiency, even talent retention. Gone are the days that people will hire trainers, motivational trainers, do a lot of team building workshop. It seems like you all already have like a self-sustaining model to keep, the employees active and all. Just curious because I believe some people who are watching are keen to know about some real numbers. Okay, so in terms of productivity, efficiency or retention, do you have have employee happiness level? Do you have like some numbers of improvement that can share?
To be honest, I don't really keep track of the numbers, but if you talk about the retention, surprisingly, it's since this change, it has been 100%.
Oh,
and we have also attract a lot of new talents to join us, and recently we have few new as we shifted, right, we need some new type of talents, right. We talk about technology is something that we haven't really touched a lot in our company, and hence we are moving towards this. Then we need a new talent, so we are able to attract new talents to come on board with us recently. So I think this is something that as we change, we attract the right kind of people to us, and we somehow retention has been much better than compared to the last time of the management. But I wouldn't say that this will be 100% forever, which I also understand that people come and go as well, and I think we need to allowing space that people need time to grow, people need time for change, and if really the people can really see that in part of their life and also cannot see that as our alignment, I'm okay, because I think at the end of the day, people who are have that same vision and want to align together with us, they will come and they will stay. I think and people that wish not, or they cannot really having the same kind of energy, I think it's fine, so we have to learn that we were never able to retain people that are not in the same page.
Understand. At least you have a system, right, to filter people, right, with the right talents and to improve their productivities and efficiency. And what I hear is also about employee happiness as well. Yeah, so I feel that this is something that marvelous they do. So now let's come to Loong Khoon. He has been waiting for very long. It has been an exciting conversation. So, okay, something is very, very, very interesting is, for a lot of people keep thinking about, green energy can really earn money. So that's something that maybe you can share with us, how is the real stuff about this?
So, I think the first step is, going green, right? Everyone thinks like, oh, it's costly, right? And how does it make you money? Because they say like, a lot of customers, they say go green lah, but they will still pay the same, right? So, but actually, once we do, and once we share our vision to our customers, our supplier, difference that it makes that actually now is very apparent, right? I have competitors in all this, and in the end, they chose us. And the price, yes, well, they pay a little bit of premium because now they understand, oh, this company is different. This company not only say that they want to do sustainable, because every company says that, but we really believe in it, and we actually take action and really show. And action always speaks louder than words. And they say this company is a company that look at the long term, right? And that's the company I want to work with. And now is, I would say, in plywood history, is one of the worst recession for us, one of the worst market condition. But I still retain all my customers. Rather than that, I have even now more and more customers wanting to join as partnerships. And I'm always very frank with them. I say I'm looking for long-term partners. You're looking for something low value and no, not what we don't share the same value. It's fine. You don't have to buy from me. And they are very shocked. But because of that, they like that I'm being so authentic and I'm being so transparent, right? So yeah, it's as you go green and do all that, you actually create value that is not, you don't see, right? And also for I stumbled upon the green energy because I was seeing that Malaysia, electricity, everything is going up. And I've seen, I've talked to people, there's actually, with a lot of data centers coming in, there's a shortage of electricity going forward. So I got planned ahead, and because electricity cost is quite a big overhead cost for our company. Then I will start to think, and everything starts with an idea. And sometimes you gotta be bold with your idea. I was like, well, what about I take something that I really of no value in my company, turning it into something of value, right? I start looking, and then I found a company that actually take the wood waste that we have, that we're currently just burning for the boiler and just generate heat. And now we have invested, and I actually also went to a few of their projects to see if it actually works, right? And yes, actually it does. And this technology actually is not new. It has been around and China has been using it for some time. But it's just that how do you integrate it with your business and what other value can you bring, right? Okay, well, one is generate electricity. What else? What else can you do with it, right? Then we talk and we brainstorm, and the partner really, likes our company and they will think further. I said, oh, well, other than that, we also don't have to buy extra waste. So it's more efficient and also save more of the waste. And it also can generate heat and electricity at the same time. So that's, quite amazing. Then one step further, then we can produce a biochar, which is like a fertilizer. So you have a byproduct that generates further revenue. And then even the next step further, they say, actually this, you can have a carbon credit and so on. Then bring in further value to your company, right? But also, with this, you have, you are ready for a lot of these international companies that, put a value on your company that is not something you can't calculate, right? So, I feel is you don't limit yourself, right? You start looking, and a lot of people, the first thing they say, this green energy doesn't work. It's not efficient, but it's about finding the right one for you. Yeah. And now the market is actually very mature. So I really encourage people to, look for any green way of doing business, and you just gotta go keep looking and keep thinking of how else can it add value to your company, rather than the first step is just saying, no, it can't be done. Then you're always stuck in the same place. Yeah.
Right. I think because at the start, right, you're actually looking from the perspective of how do you contribute to the planet. You're looking from a higher perspective. And then from there, it open up more opportunity and possibilities and open up more revenues and values to businesses and how it goes downstream as well. Right. So in fact, you actually also influence your supplier, your customers, and now the whole ecosystem in your industry. That's amazing. So I also heard that you actually also increased price by 10%. You actually have the authority to call for the price right now instead of keep cutting prices for price war. Correct. Which a lot of business owners are doing that right now.
Correct. So I think just like any business, it's about how do you create value, right? And with today's economy, just cutting prices won't get you anywhere. So, I think also a lot of customers actually, and internationally, there are more and more people awakening and looking, okay, look, we want to do good. right? We want something more sustainable, so they're actually willing to pay a little bit more for that. Of course, you got to give a good quality product, and that's what you got to make sure, because you also have to be very honest to your buyers, and you got to do them good. Then they can do you good. It's a two-way relationship.
Yeah, so it's looking at the long term. That's where you build the sustainable relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a last question for both of you. So what is your advice for business owners, or rather next-gen business owners who are looking to transform their business? Because I think right now, not many people have like clarity like yours, right? Some of people are still lost about how to transform their business. So what's your message to them?
Well, contact One Life. What I think message is to first you want to change or not. I think that have to come from you lah. No matter what platform we provide, what service we give, actually it's still down to, do you want it yourself? If you want it, yeah, there's a lot of different opportunity. There's a lot of methods that we can provide to you or share with you that you can do and try. But if you yourself is not even willing to do it, or willing to transform or change, then nothing we can do. I think it's still about, do you want to do it? I think that's more important, especially either business owner or especially NextGen. I know we have our own NextGen platform. I think a lot of time is really about individually, do you want it? Do you want it badly enough? You want to change, and I think that's the most powerful things for anyone. If you're willing, then the rest of things will definitely able to fall into places, and of course with One Life, that we also benefit ourselves, plus also eventually we become one of the founding members for One Life as well, because of all sort of amazing benefit that we have actually experienced ourselves, and we understand, we went through it, and then only we can share it to more people. If we ourselves haven't been through the whole journey, and also certain classes that awakening our soul, I don't think we can able to really face our fear and step upon today, being here today to share our story.
Yeah, that's amazing. I like that. How hard do you want it, right? So a lot of time, fear is about maybe I think courage is about having fear, still taking the first step to move forward, right? So that's amazing. How about you, Loong Khoon?
I think I will say, start by questioning, are you actually happy? If you're not happy, then you gotta do something about it. Why are you living your daily life? You know you're not happy. Why are you doing nothing? Right? Then, first step is, if you're unhappy, what's the next step? Right? So the next step is that you want to change. But if you don't know how, then I also recommend One Life, because that's how we really find our clarity of where we want to go. Right? And also One Life takes one step further, which actually does a good community to push you, to encourage you, give you the courage to take the next step. And they also really guide you to find your own answer of, what should I do next? How do I become self-sufficient? And run your own business and change your whole business and change everyone around you by changing yourself. So I think the first question is, if you're not happy, then take the next step. The next step, if you really don't know what to do and you need courage, then look for One Life.
Wow, we have two very important spokespersons here for One Life. Yeah, it's really important, right? Asking ourselves about, are we happy? There's not many people asking that. Yeah, because sometimes we keep running in the rat race,
Yes.
forgot about how we feel and what we think for the future as well. So I really like that, and really it's about how hard do you want it and dare to make a difference. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you all for watching our Innovative Plus Next Gen Voices. Remember to click on the subscribe button to follow us. We look forward to the next episode to see which Next Gen have transformed their business. See you guys. Bye.